As consumers, we are bombarded by it at every turn, like the Incredible Hulk being bombarded by gamma rays. But what makes some media endure, while others are banished to the forgotten black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again?
Yeah.
Who or what decides this? Hetero life mates Steve and Yahel want to know, and they want to know now. This is Obscurity Now. And what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Obscurity Now, the show that takes a look at weird and almost forgotten pieces of media, and then we decide whether they should be remembered for all of human history or tossed into the black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again. I am one of the hosts, Steve, and with me is the man who caused World War III himself. It's
Vladimir Putin. It's me.
Enjoys playing games about World War III, I guess. I don't know.
It is I, Yahel, and I'm more excited to be covering Thunder in Paradise than Hulk Hogan getting a brand new prescription of Deca and Tren from his doctor. Those are steroids that you inject into your body to pump up your muscles. More excited than Hulk Hogan getting a fresh batch of roids in the 80s.
I was about to say, you don't think he really does that stuff as he's got to be like 60, if not more?
Oh, not anymore, but like, again, this is in the 80s.
Right.
Come on, Steve.
I mean, I'm just asking, you know. Well, he's a professional too, or was a professional wrestler.
Was a professional.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a professional something now.
You got
a professional
that right.
person you don't want in your life.
Oh,
make it a mess.
I don't know. I think.
How are you doing, Steve? Are you on my level today?
Your level? You mean blood alcohol level? Definitely not.
Not too many people are on my blood alcohol level. I'm gonna get a DUI sitting in my office.
Oh, well, hey, I'm here to talk down the female cop from bringing us in. So
that is a deep for those listening. That's a deep cut. It's something that happened in real life. Steve loves all officers, male or female, or otherwise.
Right, absolutely, yes. As long as everyone's
they all bend to his will.
I mean, have I even gotten a ticket? Oh well. All right. Speaking of speed, we're here talking about the Thunder in Paradise
transition
interactive CD-ROM video game. This kind of goes into our beach theme that we have going on. Our previous episode was about the Baywatch parody called Son of the Beach. Please check it out. It was hilarious.
Yes, please do.
And then before that, of course, we talked about the just perfect TV show that is Baywatch Nights.
Oh, dude, I've been watching it even more. By the way, we have in the live chat here today Stadium Arts, aka Stry. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Canada, our great neighbor to the north. What did I say? Like I didn't know what direction it was.
Oh man, this is going to be a great episode. Well, welcome, Stadium Arts. You're about to see something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, all right. So this is a Yahel episode, and by that I mean he's the one who suggested that we take a look at Thunder in Paradise Interactive.
Shocking.
What's your deal with Thunder in Paradise Interactive? Like, why do you have such a hard-on for it?
Well, Steve, normally when somebody says, why do you have such a hard-on for this? I would say, hey, man, like that's over the top. I don't think that's going far enough. But by the way, we also have Chris Perry in the chat. He says, holy crap, you've inducted Steve into the CDI cult.
Well,
not quite yet, Chris. He doesn't have a CDI himself.
No, and sadly, I mean, I guess this is a full disclosure. I was never actually able to play the game. I mean, I tried.
But you watched the playthrough.
And we're all going to be watching
the game,
the playthrough together. But you actually own the game, don't you?
I own the game. I own 2 CDIs. I own 2 copies of the game, and I've played through it all the way through. Maybe, I'm not exaggerating. Maybe like 30 times. And I've watched my buddy Historic Nerd play through it probably about as many times. So I think 50 to 60 times all the way through. There's a few different endings to the game, by the way.
I would have liked to have seen more of though. I don't think they were in the. I just saw
No, it
one
was
ending.
just one ending.
Yeah, well, I guess we're
Yeah.
all about to see it in a minute here.
I think they got the good ending, right? With the implied orgy with a child.
Wait till we get there, man. Don't ruin it.
All right. I'm sorry.
All right. So,
anyways, this is a game for the Philips CDI. You do need the digital video cartridge, making it one of the more expensive games to play on the CDI. But most of the good games on the CDI require the digital video cartridge. And you've never played it. I forgive you. But did you ever watch the Thunder in Paradise TV show?
Oh, of course. I mean, it was, a part of that whole syndicated TV family thing, just like in our previous video of Renegade. And I mean, I guess Baywatch Nights was probably syndicated as well. So yeah, every Saturday afternoon, I think, didn't it move to TNT once Hulk moved to WCW Nitro and everything? I feel like it was on there too at some point.
Well, I don't remember, but I know. Well, we might both be thinking of the TNT made-for-TV movies that Hulk Hogan did, like Attack on Devil's Island.
Right.
But maybe they did air it. I do know that there were 22 episodes in total of Thunder in Paradise, and for a 1990 something show, that means one season.
Sure.
So,
right. You mean they didn't get a second season? Oh,
shocking. I'm actually surprised it didn't. But yeah, it started off as a made-for-TV movie. And then it got picked up as like a TV show, which was like a very common thing in the 90s to have like a show air as a miniseries or a TV special movie.
Right.
And then if it did well, they would pick it up as a TV show. So you may see it sold or not advertised, but like on streaming services as a movie and then also as a show. But yeah, should we get into the cast or what should we do, Steve?
Yeah, we should definitely go through the IMDb first before we jump into the episode. But quick question. I think when I was searching through the underbelly of the emulator and ROM world, trying to find a way to play this game, I think I saw that it was also available in DOS at one point. Am I mistaken?
So funny you mentioned that. By the way, we have Chris, a couple like messages in the chat here I should point out. Stry said that watching it is basically playing it, but a little more torturous.
I can agree with that.
Chris Perry said 22 glorious episodes. I would describe them as exquisite episodes myself.
It's classic 90s TV there. Bikini girls and fast boats.
So there is a DOS version of it. It's very rare, very hard to find. One guy has posted a video on YouTube about it, and myself and another like fairly prominent YouTuber have been after this man to get him to post a dump of the CD onto archive.org. And this motherfucker, he's a motherfucker. He's been lying about how he's going to do it for over a year now. So anyways, I hope his channel takes off on this so I can use the strength and weight of my 107,000 subscribers that I have now, hopefully more in the future, and destroy and bury him. Because I cannot believe that this man is holding this gem. He's a gatekeeper of the nth degree.
I definitely see a faction forming in the future between Obscurity Now, Wrestling with Gaming, and whoever else wants to join in. The NWO YouTube or something, and then we'll give them a beatdown, the likes of which Sting has never even felt back in the day.
All right, well, let's why don't we get into it? So the premise of the show is basically there's a one-sentence description on IMDb that I think sums up the show pretty well. Two former Navy SEALs work as mercenaries with a high-tech boat. Now, this high-tech boat is called Thunder, and Thunder has like an AI in it that like talks in a very aggressive voice.
He's such a brobot.
yeah, he's a brobot. That's a great. Yeah, he'll be like missiles armed.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like it's Hulk Hogan as the main character, so the acting is Hulk Hogan level.
Oh God.
But I'll say this: Hulk Hogan to me seems supremely aware of his acting capabilities in every project he does.
I would say he almost it's that some of his delivery, it's actually delivered sarcastically. Like, way to go, dude. Like even he knows that he's a joke. Like it's
he knows what he is.
Yeah.
By the way, Stadium Arts wrote in the chat here, Hulk Lives Matter, which I don't know why, but it's so funny.
That is good. That's a shirt there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You might make
Hulk
a few
Hogan's
people angry with that, and I'm not talking about Hulk either. But
anyway.
But
you know who you won't make angry with that? The Hulkamaniacs, brother.
That's right, brother, and NWO Hollywood.
Yeah. But like the show is just like very cheesy, very campy. It's produced and created by the people that brought you Baywatch, and it's produced by the same company. You can hear like even the theme song, which is super catchy, is kind of like that Baywatchy kind of like theme song.
Absolutely.
And Hulk Hogan was involved. He had like a bunch of WCW guys in some episodes. There's an episode with like Ric Flair and Vader. They're like literally like a wrestling episode. Sting.
I've seen Sting in a few for sure. He plays a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
That just tears at my heart.
But this is a game that they made specifically for the Philips CDI in 1995. The show came out in 1994. The game came out in 95. So this must have been like filmed like mid-season or something.
Right.
And the thing about this, I remember this got like a 2-page like magazine spread, like an EGM or something, covering like the making of it. You might have run into it when you were doing like your research for it. But yeah, this game it stars like Hulk Hogan, Chris Lemon, who is Jack Lemon's son. Jimmy Hart makes a brief appearance, and fucking JT from Step by Step. Brandon calls the actor's name, but he plays the kid.
Oh my God, that's where I know that kid from. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, it's weird. There's another sort of I don't know if you want to call it nepotism or a Hollywood father-son connection behind the camera, at least in regards to this game. I don't know if he worked on the actual show or not, but this CD-ROM was directed by Robert Weaver, who was the son of 70s actor Dennis Weaver. Are you familiar with Dennis Weaver?
No, I am familiar with Robert Weaver.
Well, like, did you ever see
this game?
Wow. Well, what a write-up. Dennis Weaver was like, he had a popular show called McCloud that my mom watched. He's like he's like from the small town. He's a cowboy type cop from the small town, and he goes to the city to help get rid of hippies, basically, to show these city boy cops how to get rid of hippies. But I figure more important than that, he was in like Steven Spielberg's, I'm pretty sure it's his first feature ever, called Duel. You ever see Duel?
Oh man, I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
I mean, basically, it's a feature-length car chase. Dennis Weaver plays,
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's actually really good. I think it's one of Steven Spielberg's better films. It was like before he blew up and became the Steven Spielberg we all know now. I just wanted to throw that in there, and if you haven't seen Duel, you should definitely check it out.
It's cool.
A great movie. Yeah.
Robert Weaver, however, it's interesting because he's a director here, right? He has 7 directing credits to his name, of which 4 are Baywatch, and this 5th one, Thunder in Paradise, may as well be like part of that family. So, he also directed Voyeur. I don't know if you remember that was like
I've
another
got that
like
right here. Voyeur 1 and 2.
Yeah, right. So he directed those video games. So, but he has 31 acting credits.
Right.
So
I guess this was his foray behind the camera, I suppose.
Right. So, did you see though that he was in Sewer Shark as the voice of Catfish?
No, how did I miss that?
Yeah,
dang, that's a credit right there.
Now that's
Sewer
cool.
Shark, yeah, heck yeah. All right, who else?
We should get into this though. We've covered like we haven't covered the produce. Well, we kind of covered the producers. I mean, it's the people that made Baywatch.
Right.
We've got Michael Burke, Gregory Bonin.
He's always boning things.
Bone star, yeah. He's always putting his penis in things. Douglas Schwartz, who's just, oh my God, his ass just hurts from dealing with Bonin, if you know what I'm saying. For those watching, I've been drinking quite a bit.
Well, I think I mean, can we jump to the writers here real quick? Which is
Sure.
Michael Burke, of course, from Baywatch and Baywatch Nights, even better. And of course, the original Thunder
Mhm.
in Paradise show. And then we've got Tom Green. And no, it's not the Tom Green you're thinking of. Tom Green with an E at the end of Green. And he apparently wrote Knight Rider, Swamp Thing, the TV show, and The $6 Million Man. So,
Nice.
yeah, this guy doesn't look like it here, but you know he knows what he's doing. I mean, maybe Michael Burke dragged him down or something. And then we have Lena Poussette, who also worked on Voyeur, Team Steam. I don't even know what that is. And then we've got David Riordan, who I guess he's mostly worked on video games, something called Of Light and Darkness, and Deborah Schwartz, who worked on Soul Surfer, which there you go, more Baywatchy stuff. Sheena,
Yeah.
like I don't know if you're familiar with Sheena. She's like basically a warrior princess type. And then Baywatch,
Yeah.
of course. But
Oh, man.
yeah, that's a lot of writers for what we ended up with.
Yeah. And for the cast, I mean, we've pretty much already touched on it. Hulk Hogan stars as the main character. Randolph J. This name is such a fucking mouthful. His character's full name is Randolph J.
Hurricane
Spencer.
that they call him
He's
Spencer.
pretty much referred to as Spencer, like almost exclusively in the game and the show.
I should just start calling my brother Hurricane. Just he'll have no
You should.
idea what'll hit him.
Because your brother's name is Spencer.
Exactly.
Chris Lemon, again, son of Jack Lemon, plays Martin Brubaker. At least that nickname makes sense. Then we have Carol, she's in the intro. She's like one of the women in the like very beginning beach volleyball scene. She's played by Kelly LaRue. Ashley Gorell plays the little girl, I believe. Jessica, Ashley is the character's name. The actress is Jessica Whittaker Spencer, not to be confused with Hurricane Spencer or your brother Spencer.
Right.
Brandon Call plays Zach, who you probably know Brandon Call as JT from Step by Step. His hair in this episode is so fucked up. It's like lopsided.
Right.
And
It's like we wanted to go with Bart Simpson, but he couldn't pull it off.
It's like they started a trapezoid haircut, but then just we're like, go flat the rest of the way. It'll be fine. The Major, who is an android, is played by Peter Kent, and I love how the android in this is like thinning. His hair's thinning.
Right, of course.
Why would you make an android with thinning hair? You'd either make the android bald or like have like a full head of hair. But Hulk Hogan's like, brother, no one's gonna believe this android is as tough as me. He's got more hair than me, brother.
Yeah, that male pattern baldness, it even affects robots, apparently.
Yeah, we got to get him on some Propecia. And then, to me, the breakout star, the breakout nipple-pinching star of this episode, of this game, is Gary Casper, who plays Darius Rampike, who looks like Kano from like an earlier life. He's got like a metal plate on the left side of his face, little like red eye thing, but like long black hair, and he gets it, man. He gets his hammy.
He hams it up really nice.
Yeah, like at some point he says to you, like one of the cutscenes that almost always plays when you get towards the end and you're fighting him, he goes, "Oh, is that all you got, little Mr. Poopy Pants?"
Oh,
and
no.
He's just like, he delivers it with such gusto.
Right, and there's another clip that we're going to see here in a minute where he's just like, "Welcome to the real world. Now you have to deal with me. For real." It's like he said real twice. Like, I mean,
anyways, have you played my Panasonic Real 3DO?
It's like out of these 4/5 writers, it's like this is the best they could come up with. But I mean, at least I'm sure he took a look at the script and he was like, "Oh, this is trash. I'm gonna make it fun," and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, should we get into this, Steve? And I know normally you walk us through it. I don't know how you want to do this because obviously I'm more familiar with the show. And I should mention, Thunder in Paradise came on 2 discs for the Philips CDI version, at least. Disc 1 is the game, and you're given the option when you put it in to play it after a short intro of Hulk Hogan pretending to play volleyball on the beach with some people. He sits down with like Brew, and Bru's like playing like a video game. and he's like, "Oh, how's the game coming along? It's great." So he's both playing the game and like working on programming.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's like a couple of layers of reality going on here.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, I don't know if this was a trend back then, but like, they basically write in reasons for you to be able to play the game. Like, that's the whole reason why the major is there, is that he's like a conduit for you, the player, but then you actually are playing him through JT from Step by Step. So there's like three meta levels there.
Eventually okay. So just to get ahead of you, you only get to play as the major. That's one of possible branching paths.
Okay.
If you don't do well enough in the first two sections and you don't defeat the major, let me put my phone on vibrate. If you don't defeat the major, you have to keep playing as JT.
Oh,
step by step.
boy, that is punishment. That is some punishment right there.
Dude, did you know that guy got shot in both arms while driving and like ended up stopping at a gas station, was like, "Can I use your phone?"
Oh,
it was
wow.
Like, nice. It was like, just like brushed it off, like called an ambulance for himself, and like, yeah. Anyways, he quit acting of his own volition. Like, he was like, this child acting thing's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, too many pedos in Hollywood. Or so I hear. So, shall we run the feature presentation bumper and take a look at...
Yes,
all right.
It's almost half an hour, and...
Well, you sound like you don't want to be here. All right, here we go.
Welcome to your feature presentation.
All right, here we go. Let me just start the vidya here, and should be seeing a beautiful Philips logo here in a minute.
yeah.
So, why do you love the CDI so much, Yahel?
Well, the Philips CDI is a console that not a lot of people have played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things though where, because people watch Angry Video Game Nerds like really funny video about the CDI, they don't. I don't know, man. Like, it's weird. It's like people like don't understand like James Rolfe and the AVGN character is satire.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's very like strange to me that they don't get it.
No, I understand completely, because I just feel like the majority of, I don't know, well, a lot of people don't get satire. Anyway, continue.
Agreed. But anyways, the CDI, like, I got one in like 2015, maybe early 2016, in preparation for my video about the CDI, and I was shocked that there were like good games on it. Because all I knew about it was the stuff I saw on AVGN, which I knew was like over the top, you know, but I figured it didn't look like a great console. And it was, and stuff I read like in GamePro, because it was covered like in magazines. But I had never played it. And I was shocked, man. Like, there's still like good beat 'em up. It's a console that like a lot of people don't realize it shares the same chip, main CPU as the Sega Genesis. You know, like there's some really, really good stuff on it. It has games on it that were ported to the fucking Sony PlayStation.
Wow.
Like Chaos Control was ported to it. Solar Crusade. It's got Seventh Guest on it. Myst, Space Ace. Like Arcade Perfect, Space Ace, Arcade Perfect. Dragon's Lair.
I love Space Ace and Dragon's Lair. Yeah. Well, let's comment a little bit on the opening here, which we just sort of talked over. Like, I love these 90s. I didn't go back far enough. Like, first off, there's your theme there. You got the toms that were very prominent, I feel like, in the 90s for some reason. Yeah, exactly. And then this Fresh Prince style opening graphics for all the people. Like, there's one.
Right.
Yeah, gosh.
There's Carol Alt. Yeah, there she is.
So, and of course, there's Thunder. All right. What? For some reason, it restarted. I don't know why. Okay, so here's the weird meta opening that Yahel was talking about. Hulk is never wearing a full shirt. I just want to let everyone know that.
No. I mean, but who wants to hide all that?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
No, I will say, like, Hulk Hogan's acting, like, I don't think he's like as bad of an act. I think Hulk Hogan isn't as bad of an actor as Hulk Hogan thinks he is. If that makes sense. Like, because there's been you and I have watched a lot of Hulk Hogan's media,
Yes, we have.
maybe more than we should.
Right. I can't
But,
wait for our sex tape episode coming up.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ. So he does like a lot of good stuff in the background. Like if you look like the way he's like holding this kid, there's supposed to be like a kid he adopted, if I remember the show correctly.
Right.
And he does like little things like you would expect like someone like who's like taken a kid in and like treated them as like their own daughter like to do. Like he does like a lot of like good little things. I think sometimes he's just like uncomfortable with delivering the dialogue because he doesn't get to be like,
Right. Right. For sure.
But he's definitely most comfortable in the ham, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see him doing Shakespeare anytime soon.
So this guy, Chris Lemon, Brew Breaker, is Chris Lemon, the actor's name. Brew Breaker is the character wearing the string tank top, wearing a shirt that says POV for point of view. By the way, we got a little comment here from Stadium Arts. I legit actually enjoy this. I don't know if he means us or Thunder in Paradise, and frankly, I hope he means Thunder in Paradise.
Wow, I'm gonna hope that it's us. We'll take both.
No, Stadium Arts. Right, he's been here for a lot of our shows, but he's also watched me play this game many times.
Wow.
But yeah, so right now Brew is basically playing. I guess the idea is like he's playing Thunder in Paradise, like an early build, a prototype, and he says like, "Hey, what do you want to play? Like an interactive movie, or do you want to just watch the game?" Or I don't even remember what the third option is.
He's saying it right now. And then now the graphics are popping up. It's just so weird when they address you, the player.
But once you start playing the game, it's like real life.
Right. We just missed
what's weird.
A funny like Hulk line. It's like, why not play the show and the game? Interactive TV.
Interactive television. Yeah. And by the way, you only want to do interactive television. The game only cuts all the cutscenes. If you do show only, so as I was mentioning earlier, the game comes on 2 discs on the CDI. The second disc is just a Thunder in Paradise episode they made just for the Philips CDI. And basically it's this story from the game, but fleshed out better.
Nice. All right, let's see where
And the producers are so embarrassed by the story that my friend, Historic Nerd, has a great YouTube channel. He has played the second disc, which is just a fucking episode of Thunder in Paradise. No copyright claim even. These people are like, they don't even want it. Nobody wants to claim it. Brother.
There's that sweet Thunder in Paradise logo. That font, fantastic.
But it works. It's so good for you. For this. And for you. It's good for you, Steve.
Right.
It's rich in vitamin C, vitamin D, and most importantly, vitamin H for Hulk.
Oh, of course. And in case anyone is wondering where we got our playthrough here, it's from Nintendo Complete. Looks like a fairly popular YouTube channel. But
Fairly popular, yes, very popular.
Yeah, they should probably change their name if they're playing CDI games. That's just my suggestion.
Well, they play everything, yeah.
I know.
But so this opening, do you mind if I summarize the opening here?
Go for it.
So that way you don't have to pause it. So this opening, we see the android that's like floating in the water. And basically the whole premise is that Hulk Hogan's memories are being downloaded into the android. And that's going to help this android be sexy and hot and have a big... Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's going to help the android to, just like know what to do, be like moral, be ethical.
But you missed, maybe you were going to get to it, but I'm just going to go ahead and jump in there real quick. If you're listening to this and not watching it, I just want to let you know the android is like floating around in water.
Right.
Does he have, an oxygen tube going to his mouth and nose? No, for some reason, it's going down to his crotch. I mean, they wanted to make sure he's able to, I don't know, excrete something or get rid of waste, I suppose.
Well, that's where Hulk Hogan's memories, you want them implanted. Straight to the
straight into the crotch. All right, I guess we'll have to speak to
that's where Hulk Hogan's
art director Leslie Dougherty. I think that's
where Hulk Hogan's center of love originates from. It's the love center. Anyway, that's his love language.
Right. Okay, so let's see if we can listen to some of this techno babble that JT from. He's he uses like, I don't know, computer talk to explain everything in the game, and it's about to come up here in a minute.
Okay, I'll be quiet and let that play.
So there's like a professory doctor type talking right now, trying to explain what's going on. It barely makes any sense, if it does. And Hulk is wearing this weird, it's like a reverse VR helmet or something. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's like a transmitter. It's
see them on the screen before they input them to the major.
And there, that was JT.
Yeah, like JT shirts are so big. It's so oversized. So you gotta let me know when the audio is done.
Yeah, I mean, I can pause it at any time. All right, so right now, go ahead.
Well, yeah, let me just kind of cut through it. So they're basically like, they're trying to give them this information. Something goes wrong. And you know, anytime something goes wrong with a computer thing, it just explodes. You've had many a computer explode. By the way, you paused it. Perfect. The Hulk Hogan's face right now is how most actors would have felt looking at this script, I think. But
not Darius Rampike.
I think you can hit play from here. I think you can hit play.
Okay, all right.
And we're gonna see basically like the android escapes, and Hulk Hogan, Brew, and this child, JT from Step by Step, all go on the chase. And what we end up finding is that they delegate a lot of the catching of the android to JT from Step by Step, despite him being a prepubescent child at best.
Oh, he basically ends up going on a murder spree.
Not even a man. He hasn't even done the Klingon Rite of Ascension at this point.
Oh, man. Yeah, basically, you end up going on a murder spree as JT, and the worst part is that Brew and Hulk encourage you the whole way.
Yeah. Not only do they encourage you, but they chastise you and scold you if you do poorly.
Oh, here's some more babble.
Which is great. That's amazing.
All we have to do is use these soft guns to deplete the major's auto defenses. Then I can get in and take control. And with the Neuralink, I can sometimes see what the major sees, so we can find out where he's at.
Look at that. I love this scene when, all right, JT is explaining basically why he has to come along, blah, blah, blah. It's something that only he can basically, you know, hack the major's Neuralink, and then he can see what
These two guys don't know how to do it. These boomers
Right. It's just funny. They just stand there and their eyes glaze over while he's explaining all this. Like, if your mom ever asked you to, like, help with any kind of computer stuff, like, that's basically what's going on here. Now, what do you think of JT's delivery of all this techno babble?
I would describe it as excitedly bored.
Well, I think it's funny though, because like he's definitely committing, but yeah,
he's committing a crime. I agree.
But
we have Paisley Boxers. Sorry, Steve, to cut you off in the chat. He said that child actor grew up to be Christian Bale. I think that might not be accurate.
Wow, take that, Christian Bale. That was a pretty big insult. All right, let's go a little bit further. Like,
you guys are toast without me.
And don't worry about the timestamp of 55 minutes, folks. There's a lot of gameplay that we're gonna.
We'll be skipping over that gameplay. Okay.
I'll talk.
So now they're on the Thunder, and
which looks cool. Thunder looks cool, like for 1994, 1995.
Sure. I mean, cool. The Thunder is the star of the show, much like, you know, Kit was basically the star of Knight Rider.
Yeah. I would agree. I would say Thunder is co-starring with Hulk Hogan here.
Okay, so whatever you say, brother. All right, so we're about to get some gameplay here.
I got to talk about this first section.
Yeah, when it starts, I'll silence it.
But this is overkill.
Thunder, activate shields.
Okay, they're activating shield. They show their weird shields on the boat. And we got a CGI missile heading right towards the Thunder. Oh no!
Mr. Major isn't giving us much breathing room now, is he? Brother,
CGI, honestly, the CGI could be a lot better.
Yeah. They just over.
I think JT says something about drone technology. He explains what drones are.
Yep, right now.
Oh, Hulk Hogan explains it.
Give the drones a bad haircut.
All right. He just said, he explained how JT explained how he needs to be neurolinked into Thunder to so he can fight off the drones and the missiles, and then
This is how the Borg from Star Trek started.
and then at the end he goes, and then we'll give the drones a bad haircut. And I was like, well, who gave you that bad haircut, JT?
We'll give the drones the same haircut I got. Step by step.
All right.
Every day. Or however that song went.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, then the gameplay starts.
Right, but there's one, I do enjoy, there's a Hulk line that he just said. Where he goes, this isn't a video game, brother. This is real life. Game over has a whole different meaning here. Like, whoa, meta.
So meta. Yeah. So fucking meta.
So we're almost to the gameplay.
Thunder, open external control channel.
Yes.
And JT is just pleased as punch that he gets to Neuralink with Thunder.
You're linked up to Thunder's weaponry. Show us your stuff.
All right.
So
okay, we're there.
Yeah, they did this weird zoom in while he's making a weird face on JT, aka Zach.
And so you.
Now,
What's up?
I will say, I appreciate that they gave this game the same production values as the show.
Sure.
On the downside, the production values of the show are questionable.
Right. Well, I mean, what do you think about the game production? Like, I mean, I'd say this one at least has music playing in it. I'll just play it real quick so we can hear it. But
So I'll
go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve. I'll say this: the first part of the game that we're watching right now is by far the worst part of the game. But it's also the one that requires the most strategy. So the ideal way to play this game is with the CDI mouse. You can play with a controller. You can play with the CDI gun. All CDI games can be played with any CDI controller, by the way. Whether it's a gun, a mouse, you can play platforms with a mouse. It's fucking nuts. But the way this works is you change which side of the boat you're looking at by right-clicking the mouse. So you'll see sometimes on the radar, like it'll change like where the radar like lines are shooting out at. That means that the person like right-clicked. And you have 3 weapons, and they're long-range missiles. You can see they have like 18 of them. If you click like on the radar, like over like further out, it'll shoot a long-range missile. Like depending on where you click on the radar, it uses like a different weapon. So you do have to like choose like what weapons you use and like which side of the boat you let be attacked. But this section goes on forever.
Yeah, I definitely felt that when I was watching it. And I mean, obviously I ended up clicking through it. Is the gameplay quote unquote tight?
If you're using the mouse, it's pretty good. It's one of those games where you have to shoot like where when the ships are coming out or like those vessels, you have to shoot where they're going to be when your missile or whatever gets to them, which is more realistic, but it's not very arcadey. The problem with this section is that it's too long, and it doesn't matter how well or how poorly you do. This is the one section that doesn't impact your game.
Well, that's kind of a jip.
So I'm pretty sure this section was elongated just to make the game longer.
Paisley Boxers.
Why don't we skip
Yeah, we
this?
will. I just want to say real quick that Paisley Boxers says that CGI missile grew up to be James Cameron's Avatar. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Not wrong. Not wrong at all.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and let's see. Maybe we can get a funny one line from someone, or maybe we already talked over that. Wow, this is so long.
Well, yeah, it goes on forever. So like, I'll give you some of the lines that Hulk Hogan and like Bruce say throughout the game.
All right.
I know like one of the things he said during this section.
No, you go ahead.
Looks like you found one. You found one. No,
I mean, I've got the next scene ready to go. So basically, you can deliver the lines. Go for it.
So basically, like the lines you kind of get if you're doing well, it's like, "Oh, good shooting, oh," like that kind of.
That's so much better than listening.
Oh, you're doing great. That's from Brew. If you're doing good, it's like Hulk Hogan's like, "Oh, you're doing a good job with the aft," like just like stuff like that. If you're doing bad, it's like, "Oh, you're supposed to watch out for your shields."
I wish I could have seen some of the negative.
Now kiss me,
I wish I could have
child.
seen some of the negative ones because, like, I don't know, whoever was playing this
I'm gonna get to the negative
was
ones in a
like
bit.
too good. But anyway, okay, so you beat this. I don't know. How would you even describe this? This is basically like, I don't know, an Atari sort of almost strategy style game where you just shoot down the missiles. Like, Yahel's already explained it. And so now you're treated to another scene from Thunder with Paradise. Here we go. Or Thunder in Paradise. What am I saying? The Thunder speeds off, and then now...
I can hack into
All right.
the main memory of Dr. Franklin's central processor.
So I will say, if you don't do well in this section and all your shields get destroyed, they do get mad at you and they're like, "Oh, you really fucked up, JT."
Wow,
from
such
Step by
language.
Step."
Thunder, bring up full
Yeah.
time.
But this is like, if you do well, the video you're playing. But either way, you move on to the next section. Basically, like, they have to fix Thunder. If you did.
Okay, so we got a plot point here. They find they get like a security footage of Darius Rampike basically shaking down the doctor they showed at the beginning of the game, and Jess is there also. I mean, it's basically just motivation to move you to the next part of the game. But
Right.
it's such an awkward angle. You can't even make. Is this like I guess this is the first time that Darius appears on screen. You can't even see him. You can't even see his like dumb Kano face.
But Steve, this is building the mystique of Darius Rampike.
I guess. Well, let's watch this scene real quick.
The charismatic enigma.
Jeff Hardy?
I believe is what Jim Ross called Darius Rampike.
Ah, I never heard of him. Why? What's going on?
I think something to make sure you never forgive me again.
Wow, he shoots Dr.
Dr.
Franklin,
Franklin, we gotta do something.
then he shoots the camera.
This Rampike's bad company. I'll bet that face appliance must be hell on metal detectors. Now what do you want to do?
What?
Like JT from Step by Step. I mean, Zach here. He's pretty mature. He just watched a man get killed. And he's like, okay, what? He's like, okay, Hulk Hogan, what do I need to do? Roided friends.
But what I love
friends.
is Brew over here. He's like, this Darius guy is bad company. Like, just like making references to 70s rock songs and or rock bands. And then he's like,
rock bands,
well, what do you want to do? Like, so he, in a way, he's turning to JT/us, like, for guidance, I guess.
Yeah, like, which, I mean, I get it, right? Because, like, you're JT, right? And this is marketed at, like, to try and get teenagers, right? You know how teenagers love the Philips CDI,
Sure.
right?
Well,
and, teenage boys were about two things, Steve, in 1995. Sex and the Philips CDI. And if you can combine them, as they've done in this game, as we'll see, it's been combined in this game.
Oh, it's all right. You brought it up at just the right moment. Okay, so what you're about to see on your screen is basically you can
sex.
You can click around in the like Thunder's computer. And just take a look at random, I guess, readouts about all the weapons and stuff.
Library, like the Thunder computer
database
information, like it's database. Now, I will say, Steve, one of the issues I take with this game, one of the few issues I will say, besides the length of that first section, is that here, when you go into Thunder's computer systems, you can learn about the enemies that you just fought. That's cool. Except you never fight them again.
Yeah.
So why do you need to like fucking learn about them? Like after you're never gonna use these missiles again. You're gonna use the Q bombs. Thank God there's no more like Thunder levels.
Right. Yeah.
But
What?
Steve, I'm sure you noticed that there's a particular portion of the database.
Right. The one that combines the sex with the CDI. So
Right. It's called the Rossiter Island download.
Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and play it. That way it'll spike our our downloads and subscribers, as well as our testosterone levels.
Our testosterone levels.
All right, so this is what
will finally be
90s. This is what 90s syndicated TV was all about, and that is a gang of bikini girls frolicking in a water park. Here it comes.
So good.
This is your reward for like suffering through that first thunder level, or only thunder level. So do you like listen to this song on the reg?
This like generic royalty-free track. So yeah, when I first like found this, I had never clicked around the thunder stuff for like, so this is like maybe like a dozen playthroughs that I found this, and I was like, oh, let me click around. And there's another one where like you see like the memories from Hulk Hogan that were being downloaded into the Android. I don't know if you know the timestamp for that one, but that one's really funny too, because like it starts off like pretty chill and nice, and then it turns into like a guy, like a black guy morphing into Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's the montage of clips from the show, right?
Yeah. No, it's in the same section. It's
we'll get to that next. Don't you worry. Yeah, because I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, there you go. It came up.
I didn't realize it was supposed to be his memories. That's so.
Yeah, it even says like Spencer neural tapes is what it's called.
All right, let's go to that right now. So what you're about to see is just like a weird montage, but without bikini girls. I mean, can you believe it? Yeah. Ooh, get it.
Like the music.
Oh yeah, this is like anyone's entrance music in the WWF in the 90s, or maybe WCW, more like Sting.
Before Jim Johnston's gotten like
right.
The guy morphing into Hulk Hogan is like, it's actually it's a good morph.
Yeah, I mean,
especially for like mid 90s TV. Like, get out of here.
I mean, it's good.
And the show has some high production values. Like some of these explosions are really well done.
All right, here's some more fun CGI, I guess. All right, so we're finally out of that Thunder computer. What's up?
Right, and those, keep playing it. So like these memories explain why the android wants to kidnap that girl, because like these memories are from Spencer, and like something went wrong with the transfer, and like now the android's been warped, apparently by Darius Rampike, because if you watch in one of the videos that you can see in the lab database or whatever for like Thunder, you see that the woman at the lab is actually working for Darius Rampike.
Oh my.
And I believe in the second CD, if you watch it as an episode, like it's revealed that we have Stika here in the chat. Stika runs a great channel. He said, hello world. Yeah, I made it on time for today's stream. Stika, I believe, is a Baywatch Nights actual
aficionado. Great. And we're good to have you back. I'm glad to have you back, as always. All right. So, it looks like our heroes are closing in on the island where Darius is. I mean, it's supposed to be an island, just the area. They don't even really say.
Not yet. This is filmed at MGM Studios, by the way. All this stuff. MGM Studios in Orlando, Florida. Now we're on the hunt for Red Android, not October. We're trying to get this android, and a lot of the gameplay now is just like the rest of the game they play is like it's like a shoot.
Yeah, almost like an FPS, but you can't actually control where you're going. It's more on rail, almost on rail point and click.
Yeah, it's like an on rail. Yeah, it's like one of those American laser games, like oh my god, what's like the one like out in the West?
Mad Dog McCree.
Yeah, like it's like Mad Dog McCree, but unlike Mad Dog McCree, where it's like you have the same 3 people that come out at the same time, right? Every time. It's always the same thing, right? Because it's pre-recorded video. The way this works, the technology here has guys come out, your enemies come out at different instances every time. You stop at different locations every time. Every time I play Steve, despite being 60 playthroughs deep between me and Historic Nerd, the camera still stops at different places. Like sometimes we'll be like, oh, I've never stopped here. And like guys come out of different places, they come out in different order, and you can shoot them in whatever order you want.
Oh, it's pretty impressive, I'll say.
And sometimes they'll come out like 3 at a time, so you have to like strategize. Okay, which one's closer to me? Like, which one do I want to like shoot first?
I mean, I just can't imagine that
You're scared to play this game? You're scared to play this
I
game?
wanted to play it. I really did. But it just wasn't in the cards. Maybe next time I come to Florida, we can play it for real. So, shall we continue on a bit?
Yeah. Please. At the end of this scene, I mean, you can play a little bit, but basically what happens at the end of this section is after you like kill a few of these like enemies, you end up fighting the end.
Yeah, there's random bikini girls frolicking in the water, of course, because it's the 90s and that's how things were.
We're short on time. We'll go that way. You go this way. Find the major. You got 1 shot, so make it count.
Hulk yells at you to go find the major. So yeah, now you, an underage boy, has to go up against this killing machine. It's just like Terminator 2, almost.
Yeah.
And why can't the android wear a shirt? I mean, come on. He put pants on.
Oh, he's so hot.
All right. Okay, so now we are in the, I don't know, on-rail point-and-click shooter portion of Thunder in Paradise. Basically, you just have to shoot your way down these stairs. What I'd like to know, Yahel, I'm sure you don't have an answer for this, but like, why is there no music here? Like, all you can hear is the sound effects, basically. Like, why did they do away with the music? Because they had music in the previous game portion.
Right. Well,
they run out of tracks.
Have you ever heard of a thing called building suspense? Have you ever heard of building ambiance?
But it's so boring.
Steve, you're boring.
Oh, wow, this isn't gonna be a.
Steve, when I talk to you, I don't hear music. Why aren't you playing music?
I could play
right
some
now?
if you like.
Okay, but you don't, do you?
Wow.
Because you think you're enough. You think you're enough.
I didn't realize this was going to be such a biased episode.
Tell me, Steve, are you enough or are you not enough?
I mean, if I could somehow play music as I talk, I would.
You're enough,
all right,
Steve.
thanks, brother. All right,
enough. Yes, Steve,
we're gonna go past this.
I'm not here to tear you down.
That's a first. Okay.
No. I never noticed the no music thing because I'll tell you why. Because when you play the game, I get where you're coming from because you're just watching it. But when you play the game, you don't know where the camera is going to stop, at which location it's going to stop. Sometimes like it'll walk for like 10 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes like just 2 seconds. And you'll have like, these cutscenes like Hulk Hogan like just popped up, right? And he'll say something like, "You got the hot hand." And the funny thing is, like, I don't know if you heard the hot hand comment, but hot hand is used multiple times in this game.
It would have been funnier if he said hot tag.
Well, that would be funny, but the funny thing is, like, it's used both as a positive and a negative. Like, if you're doing good, he'll go like, "Oh, you're doing great. You got the hot hand, kid." If you're doing like poorly, he's like, "What's wrong with you? You got a hot hand."
Okay, so my question for you then, are you telling me that they made a conscious decision not to have music there, or do you think it's a limitation of the CDI for some reason?
It's not a limitation. I think it was a conscious decision. And I also think because the randomness of like when it stops, it would have been awkward to have music, right? Because you either have to have like music kind of going the whole time in the background that doesn't like necessarily fit with the change from scene to scene, or like have that music because you'd have some mellow music, right? Ideally, like while you're walking before you get to like the action. So you don't want these like rapid cuts in the music, and you don't want like mellow music the whole time or action music the whole time. So I think they just said, okay, these sections are relatively short. There's a lot of cutscenes like with Hulk Hogan and Brew anyways, talking to them already to break it up. And when you're playing it, you don't really notice it.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
I don't like the face you made. I don't. Fuck you.
Hey, I'm not.
Let's go to the chat here. We've got a comment from Stika. Wait, Stika said he put pants on. Let's just celebrate the fact that he remembers to do that. I don't know what that means, Stika. But then he said, little known fact, every time someone speaks to me, you can hear the faint music from Sonic the Hedgehog. It haunts me every day. I can't go to sleep without hearing Marble Zone. I can't imagine Hulk Hogan reading the script. Is hot a compliment or an insult? Meh. I'll let the editors figure it out. No, Stika. We'll let the audience.
That's
figure it
good.
out.
So basically, we're at a somewhat plot point here after I guess you make it through that that sort of shooter area where JT sees through the eyes of the Major and sees that he's taken hold of, I guess, Jess and Jessica, and that he's also got some sort of
Right,
cloaking thing going on.
So the Major, aka Android, has been defeated, right? He was teleporting around. Now you get to like control the Android, basically.
Oh.
So your HUD heads-up display will be a little bit different when you play as the Android. If you don't defeat the Android, you play as JT, so your HUD stays the same, and you're closer to the bad ending.
The one where everyone dies.
No,
Oh, they don't all die?
no, it's worse.
All right. Well, you can tell me when we get to
Well, yeah, I don't want to tell you now because you'll be like, "Oh, I'm spoiling the end."
Well,
because,
I want to know though.
oh, then why is there no music right now?
My God, I didn't.
I don't
I'm
understand
sorry,
the
I didn't mean to
CDI.
offend you and your people. And by your people, I mean
how does a penis
the
work?
CDI
How does a penis
people.
work? I don't know. Okay, oh, what's an erection? I don't know, Steve.
my
I have to explain everything to you.
Wow.
What are beans? What are beans?
So
How come sometimes they're dry? How come sometimes they're in a sauce?
okay, so you defeat the Major. My God, why does this keep reloading?
Now the Major gets put into a cell in the back of Thunder that you did never.
Hold
knew
on, we have to
existed.
show that. It's so ridiculous.
You were showing it
Right.
for a second, but
Okay, here's. All right, so yeah, once you defeat the Major, he just stands there looking simian because I guess he's no longer being controlled by
he's an android.
Darius Rampike, and yeah, that's when.
Did you notice that they?
I'm sorry,
Sorry to cut you off, but did you notice that they only made one of these headsets?
just one. Oh yeah, that.
Because Hulk Hogan's always wearing it by himself. The android's wearing it by himself. JT's always wearing it by himself. I think it's the same headset. every
Right,
time.
and to compare it to other, I guess, sci-fi headsets that were going on in the '90s, I think this one might be the lamest.
It looks like one of those like clear phones.
A clear phone
From the 90s? Remember those clear, like,
Yeah,
phones?
wow, it really does. Okay, so
Oh my God, Steve, Stika wrote in the chat, the bad ending is the one where the show gets renewed for a second season.
Ooh.
Ooh, spice.
Yeah. All right. So
Fuck you, Stika. I like
I
bad.
told you I'd get him, right? I got him.
Oh, I'm not a moderator.
No problem. She's right over.
All right, so we're gonna continue forward. So now you play as and I will say a lot of the rest of the gameplay is all the same. You just like the camera walks around. You have guys that pop out of different like locations and you shoot them. So like it's the same gameplay. It's a point and shoot game. What makes it fun and interesting is the different cutscenes that come up. Like Hulk Hogan will like just come up and like he just says like dumb ridiculous
Right.
stuff. So does Brew. The locations are pretty interesting. At one point, there's the scene where
right. Yeah.
he
So
gets
basically,
shoved into
once
the,
you defeat the Major / Android, he gets put in the quote unquote airlock of Thunder for safekeeping. Why does a boat need an airlock, Yahel?
well, you gotta keep your androids somewhere. You gotta keep your steroids somewhere where the air can't make them go bad.
Is that how steroids
idiot.
work?
That's why you're not jacked.
Oh my God.
Because you don't get it. Where's your airtight space, Steve?
Oh wow.
Anyways, let's keep
Yes,
going.
for the love of God, let's keep going. All right, let's watch this.
So then they fight at a brewery. I mean,
Is that what it is? I put like power plant.
I think so. I think it's actually a brewery. But,
Nice.
They fight a little bit at MGM. Honestly, the last like 30 minutes, like we can like pretty much skip through. But you get to meet Darius Rampike. He just like makes all these like
Hold on,
stupid
I'll get us
jokes
there.
and stupid
Okay, so
puns.
basically,
Once you find a Darius Rampike, think like
yeah,
please
they're
shut up,
all right.
but-
So basically, they go to the aforementioned brewery / power plant where Darius is waiting. You basically assume control of JT controlling the Major. So the Major's good now, basically, and of course he acts just like, Arnold as the T-800 from Terminator. So he goes there and looks around, and then bam, you're in another shoot 'em up style stage. It looks suspiciously like Area 51. You remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Great
love that
game.
game.
But this is definitely shot in Florida. Like all of this is shot in Orlando, Florida. Home of Impact Wrestling.
It is. All right, so here's Darius in a minute here. Coming up any minute.
Yeah, this is not a brewery. This section isn't, but when you fight Rampike, it looks like a brewery. But actually you should leave it running here for a little bit because you can see like how it is like when you fight these guys that just come out.
Yeah, it's coming like yeah, so basically Darius just came on and he was like
he's got a garage opener,
he
by
says,
the way,
"Well,"
in his hand. He pulls up a garage.
he goes, "Welcome to my virtual nightmare, kid." And then he basically turns the brewery / power plant into, I mean, I thought it was the Universal backlot. I mean, maybe it's Disney.
It is the
Yeah,
Universal
I
backlot.
thought so.
It's MGM Studios. And you can see like the wooden beams holding up the front building facade.
Right. Well, I mean, they're
you look
two
closely.
different parks, MGM and Universal.
So Stika said, by the way, Stika wrote in the comments, "Why does a boat need an airlock? So you don't get flown into space." Duh.
Well, you can't argue with that
But
logic.
then he added, "Man, the game and show looks so campy. I love it." But I will say, Steve, like this section in particular, like the camera stops almost at a different car every time you play this
Wow.
game. So it's a different game every time you play it. It's not like so this game has a lot of replay value. Even though between myself and Historic Nerd, we've got 50 to 60 playthroughs, we are still almost every playthrough getting new cutscenes.
Wow.
Still. Of like Hulk Hogan like saying whatever, or like Bruce saying something, or like Rampike like, chiming in with some like stupid one-liner. And that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I won't argue with that. All right. So,
You better not argue with that.
because then you'll start insulting me instead of the argument.
I mean, Steve, I'll buy it. No, I'm not gonna insult. I'll buy a ticket
Bye.
to California, and I'll confront you face to face. Like, I'm not gonna say man to man because obviously you're not a man.
Oh, wow.
Man,
Man, the Fast and the Furious crowd is
man
out
to
today.
prepubescent testicle.
Hey, JT has shown that the prepubescence can go very far. Like,
No, JT's balls. So they're as big and uneven as his haircut.
Jesus Christ. Okay, here's another Darius Rampike.
Hey, Steve, can you delete this stream after we're
Sorry, bro. You know the rules. What happens. All right.
Welcome
All
back
right,
to the real
but this is
world,
awesome. All right, so this section here, I've only had
Now
it stop
you
here
must
at this
feel
building
the
once with like all these windows, and these are really hard to hit targets because they're very small, and sometimes like 3 windows will like open up, and it's challenging, man. Like it's a level of challenge you don't expect for this kind of
Right.
game.
Well, I really wish I could have played it to know what you're talking about. Because let me tell you, watching this gameplay footage was super boring.
Well, Steve, next time you come visit me, or I come to California to fight you, to educate
No,
you.
dog collar
will bring a
match.
CDI.
Dog collar match.
There's a dog collar match tonight. I'll show you. You'll see. No, like everybody that plays this in person. Why do I sound so threatening?
Because you're
This
drunk.
is fine. We're friends. Oh, so now I'm a threatening person when I'm drunk?
You can be, I guess.
Do we have something? Oh, I can be. What do you mean?
Okay, so
No,
the
but,
Major here is about to face off against Darius Rampike. The final showdown, as it were. Let's see.
Yeah.
Get a little sound here.
How thoughtful. You brought me the Major. I'll take it from here. Come and get it, scrap face.
But yeah, so the end, like you're basically like again, after the boat level is the same kind of gameplay, point and shoot. You basically like point and shoot to get to the next like interruption cutscenes. Eventually, you end up at where you're fighting Rampike and the regular enemies as well. Is that where you're going to right now? But
I'm just going to go to one more Rampike chat, or...
Oh, please do.
Handle
Please
this
do.
like adults,
Give it to me. Ram my pike.
Oh, my. All right. It's coming up here any minute, I promise. Ooh.
So this is the part that I said looks like a little bit like a brewery, but I guess it's really not. But
Here it comes.
Can't we handle this like adults, Mr. Poop Poo Pants?
Poop poop pants? Wow.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, the poo
Right.
pants.
And so, yeah, basically you win. There's the Darius on the ground, and that is basically
Right.
the end of at least the gameplay. But you're going to be treated to quite the ending.
On view screen.
Yes! Way to go, little brother. We never thought
And
you
it's
could
not
beat
just
us.
JT
Dude.
being excited.
You're my hero.
It's JT being
You, buddy.
excited by other people of the opposite sex.
So, did you happen to notice if the guy who played Darius acted in anything else?
So Darius Rampike. Let's see. I do have his hold on. I did have his thing up. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Gary Casper is his name,
With a
by the
K.
way. And when I click on his name, I get the infamous 503 dope
Oh
error
no.
on IMDb.
He broke the
I
internet.
don't know. Actually, I think IMDb is down. IMDb is
Oh
down
wow.
right now.
It's the
Holy
Russians.
shit. We broke IMDb.
Yeah. Wow. Well, all right. Let's finish this up. There's just a few more. Congratulations, dude, and then the game is done.
Well, whoa, what do you mean? Congratulations, dude.
What? I mean, that's
When you get the good ending, as this person got,
right.
Hulk, basically like JT is like told by Hulk Hogan, congratulations, like you said. But then they're like, there's some other
No,
people that
don't.
wanna
We're gonna get
congratulate
there.
you.
Don't worry. I promise. I promise.
Oh, my bad. My
Some
bad.
kind of adventure.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Kid, you really came through.
You were
I'll
awesome.
let you take the reins from here.
Thanks, brother.
Fucker, man.
Awesome. I got a hot date. Oh, and you, my partner,
Why does he do?
attention, if I remember correctly.
You got that right. And kid, you can ride with us anytime.
That's a
Remember,
woman,
There's
Steve.
always another day in paradise.
They have 8 hips.
Just remember, there's always another day in paradise.
Where have you been hiding? We've been looking all over for you.
All right.
You're a hero now, and there's lots of people that want
All
to
right,
meet
here
you.
it comes.
I love they put so much makeup on his face and neck.
He's so pale. All right, so basically JT is getting attacked, or getting a gang of bikini girls is closing in on JT for some sweet statutory rape action. That's your reward.
Right. Basically, he's like a 12 or 13-year-old, and these 6 women are so excited about what a good job he did. They're coming to...
Yes, satisfy his every need. Maybe.
Yeah. Steve, I guess you just get better and more satisfied step by step, day by day.
Oh, wow. Until you get shot in the arms and then quit acting?
Yeah, and then you can't masturbate. You have to have these 6
Well,
women.
you have to have the
check you
women do
off
it for you, I guess.
You have 6 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the endings.
Wait. Steve. Stadium Art said, "Goddamn, destroy me, ladies."
Well, hold on. We got to end it on a better screen than that one right there. But yeah, tell me about some of the other endings.
So, the bad ending is basically like Hulk Hogan and Bruce Show and be like, "Oh, you really fucked up. Good thing we did it for you and like got it all right." And no women after you. And then they're like, "Better luck next time, dude. Why don't you do some steroids?"
So,
idiot
what
kid.
if I'm what if I'm a gay man and I'm playing this? Like, am I supposed to feel rewarded from being attacked by a gang of bikini girls? What am I supposed to do with that, you hell, huh?
Well, you're obviously playing as well, I don't know. Maybe this is what like confirms for you that you are a gay man, and having that confirmation in itself.
No.
is
The answer
validating and
is
empowering.
I got to look at Hulk Hogan through the whole game. Come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Major's no slouch either. I know he's an android, but look at that thinning hairline.
I mean,
Pretty
I
hot,
just want to make sure
according to Hulk Hogan. That's what Hulk
there's
Hogan told
enough
me.
diversity, you know, and representation in Thunder in Paradise, the interactive game.
You know, you know. I mean, I know it's like fun and in vogue to make fun of like representation, all this stuff, but like this show actually does a fairly good job from what I remember of like having like a pretty good mix.
Sure.
And I'm of the opinion that like it helps to have a good mix. I mean, America is a melting
Absolutely.
pot. I mean, Steve, your wife is not white. for
What?
example.
She isn't? What?
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware. I would have thrown that out there because I don't want people to like misunderstand like your joke.
Yeah, all
about
right,
it.
all
Like,
right.
Steve's
It's a joke. It's a joke. But of course, we're all for
Steve's son.
diversity here on Obscurity Now.
Steve's son is a diversity person, a diverse person. He's half white, half Asian,
It's true.
all attitude.
All cop.
He was very rude to me. All cop.
So yes, okay. So are there any other endings that we need to know about?
There is another ending, and I can't remember because like I've been so long since I've gotten like the other ending. There's like a middle of the road ending where you're kind of like told like, oh, you did okay. It's similar to the bad ending where you're kind of like told like, oh, you did all right, but you gotta like play harder next time. Like my dick when I fucked my wife and it was caught on like Bubba the Love Sponge's camera. Remember that? That happened to Hulk Hogan?
Jesus. Oh wow. This has been some.
I don't know why he brought that up. It was even before it happened. Why would he bring it up? Why would he bring it up? Very strange.
Here's another Stika one. It says, director, okay, so you've just been shot and you gotta shout your final death screen. Actor, oh.
No, but I will say the game is a lot more fun to play than it is to watch. I think it makes for a fun stream to watch. Like I stream this game all the time, and people really enjoy it. People ask for it, even though they've seen it like multiple times on the stream, because it's fun to riff on, and especially as you get like different cutscenes that play in real time based on like how you're doing. And yeah, it's a game that if you're gonna play on the Philips CDI, you want to play with a mouse. You don't want to play with a controller. It's very awkward. Just like if you play a shooter game like this on Super Nintendo, like the Terminator 2 game, like it sucks playing with a controller. You want to play with a Super Scope or the mouse.
Super Scope.
And this is
Sweet.
this is that kind of game. And I will say that the video quality is very, very good. You can't tell. This is like a very old
Sure.
capture. I think it's from like 11 years ago or something like that. When I stream it, people ask me if I'm playing it on a modded CDI. I'm like, no, it's composite.
Wow.
And people think it's like been modded to be RGB out. The video quality is very good. Movies were released on the CDI on video CD quality, and like this is video CD quality.
Nice. All right, let's render our verdict and get the Hulk out of here. Here we go.
Remember before you rated that with a question.
All right.
I think we know my verdict, Steve.
Can I at least ask
Now-
the question, please?
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Agent Velazquez, do you think that Thunder in Paradise Interactive should be remembered for all of human history or tossed into the black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again? Jeez.
Keep it, Steve. Keep it hot. Keep it ready. Keep it hard. Keep it erect. Feels good. It feels good going in. It feels good going out. That's what am I saying?
Jesus Christ.
Now I will say before you render your verdict, I'm not going to expound on it because I've already like talked a lot about this. I will say, regardless of what your verdict is, I feel like you're not as well equipped to render it. So I feel like your verdict is going to be a tentative one, whether positive or negative, because you haven't gotten to play it yet.
Right. Yes,
So I think
this
we
was
should
a
keep that in mind, 'cause
special
this is a-
episode because
This is supposed to be an experience.
Right. So, I mean, we're going to have to go stalemate here because I wasn't able to actually play the game. But watching the game being... Hey, get back here. Get back here, you bastard. We just had the first walkout in Obscurity Now history. Like, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not equipped to render a proper verdict for Thunder in Paradise Interactive. I enjoyed watching the cutscenes, but that's because I already enjoyed the movie to begin with. I guess I can't really comment.
Sounds like you loved it. All right, we got it, guys.
Here's your stalemate bumper. Here it comes.
It's just in, those pathetic podcasters known as Obscurity Now have once again rendered a verdict of no contest. That's right, a stalemate. They've wasted everyone's time. They are just as lazy as Congress and twice as corrupt. Boo, I say, tar and feather 'em. Get out the guillotine. Boo to stalemate, and boo to Obscurity Now.
All right. Wow. Yes. So basically, we're just going to have to go stalemate because I wasn't able to play the game. But I think we still had a fun episode and a good chat talking about Thunder in Paradise. And also, this was the drunkest episode I think we've had so far.
Our friendship will never be the same. Just like nights will never be the same.
Well, hopefully you can join us next Sunday. I think we're going to be talking about Surf Nazis Must Die if Yahel shows up,
yes.
Which will be
concluding. I'll be here,
great.
Steve.
Thank you.
I hope that my friend that I grew up, we didn't grow up together. I hope my friend that I went to resident school with, had a great time at a band with. I hope he's here next week because I don't know who showed up today.
I
don't know this Steve Honeycutt. More like honey butt, and I mean by butt, I mean ass. Honey.
Wow,
ass.
I haven't heard that since first grade. Wow. Oh my.
Well, I guess you don't remember from us growing up together.
I don't remember you making fun of my last name all that much, if ever.
When we grew up together.
We will be.
Stika said, "Thank you for the awesome stream. It was fun like always." Thank you, Stika. I'm sorry our regular co-host wasn't here tonight,
Jesus.
and tonight's results have been invalidated. But
wait, don't you want to stick around and listen to us pimp our projects? I mean, I'm sure you've only seen.
I have no projects. I have no.
I'm sure you've only seen the trailer for my comic book like 1,000 times, but the link to the Kickstarter is now available, and you can sign up for. God, now I'm finally getting drunk. You can sign up and be notified when the Kickstarter goes live. Here's the trailer anyway, then we're going to be out of here, I promise. I'm having a weird day. The name's Adam. You do that. Where I'm from, I'm known as the Zero Thief. Depending on who you ask, some might say I'm the best thief. But believe it or not, even the best screws up every once in a while, and that's what I did, and I had to make a fast getaway. I ended up crash landing on this bizarre planet. Turns out, I didn't get away fast enough. These winged freaks followed me here.
It's just us here, Zero Thief, on this empty backwoods planet. So start talking, either to me or my blade.
Okay, I do have something to tell you. It's about the planet. It's not that empty. Come on, man, I thought you were gonna duck. Loose. Cut me loose. Behind you. Whoa! Thought I was done for. It was gonna be a light snack for a snarling creature, but then she showed up, riding on the back of one of those monsters like it was nothing. And with a wave of her hand, the other razor-toothed beast just stomped away. I'd never seen anyone like her before in my life. I thought I'd say something clever. Thanks, have you seen my ship? She gave me a look that said more than words ever could, because I think she was trying to read my mind or something. And from there, things just got even weirder. Escape to Earth. 30 pages of insane dinosaur action that will leave you hungry for more. Issue 1, crowdfunding now. Written and created by Stephen Honeycutt. Art by Antonio Brandao. Colors by Bruno Furlani. Jump on now before the whole human race is extinct. I think that's download the digital preview today. All right. So as I said, the link to the Kickstarter will be in the description of the video. I got the last couple pages. God, who was out there? Like Vin Diesel was out there driving around for the new.
Steve, it's all about family, which you used to be to me until today. And everybody that watches Fast Furious, the Fast 9 movie, knows it's all about family when you're driving fast cars.
I thought it was.
And that out there is my Thunder and Paradise
Can't
family.
even speak. What if?
You can't speak. You can't speak well about Thunder in Paradise, but people should check out Escape to Earth because despite Steve having terrible taste when it comes to 90s TV CDI games, I can't believe you. Steve actually has written a really good comic. I was genuinely impressed. I know I've espoused on like how much I really enjoyed the Ashcan issue, which people I believe can still get by emailing you, or they can either put an email in the comments, or there's links in the description that they can like send the email
Twitter.
to you.
Yep.
And you wrote a great like tight story. The art is fucking fun. Like it's really good. It's really well done. The colors are vibrant. Like if you like comic books, you'll like this. If you don't like Steve, like I don't like Steve right now, you'll still like him.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. And yes, I got the final colored pages, so the first issue will be ready to go as soon as I'm done lettering it. And also, one of the short films I acted in got accepted into 2 different film festivals. And I think that's all the stuff for now.
That's cool. You're not accepted into my house. That's cool. You're in 2 film festivals. You're not accepted in my house.
All right.
Don't come visit.
You drink yourself some water, sir, and simmer down. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this drunken episode of Obscurity Now. And we will see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, where we will continue to discuss more obscure media only on Obscurity Now. Goodbye. You've been enjoying Obscurity Now, a podcast that's recorded live to tape and streamed to Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe so you never miss an episode or hilarious quip. Take us with you by following the download links provided in the show notes to wherever you get podcasts. And take notice of our various social media links. If that's what you're into, I'm not here to judge. And make sure you join us live next week at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific as we continue to discuss more obscure media only on Obscurity Now. Oh, of course, man. Of course. No, I think it's hilarious.
Up to it.